put money on that.
So there we go. So keep the comments coming in. We want to keep the conversation going. We see these scenes at Suncorp. It's absolutely electric. But thinking of electric, we've got a very special guest joining us on the line. He is an absolute legend of the game. 67 caps for the Wallabies, 89 for the Waratahs. He's a dual international, Lote Tuqiri. Hello, Lote. How are you, brother?
Hey, boys, how are you? Can you hear me?
I got you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, gotcha.
Real way. Firstly, Lote, great. Thank you for your time. So close to kick off. Really appreciate it. I guess you're a man that knows what it's like to play for the Wallabies. I guess, have you seen the build-up, the Wallabies squad? Give me a take on the old vibe overall the last sort of week or so.
Yeah, it's there's definitely a great buzz in Brisbane, obviously. As you guys would know, a lot of buzz around, a lot of hype. I'm looking forward to the game, but it's got a bit of Origin sort of 1 and 3 about it, about Australia and the Wallabies not having much of a chance. And we're the sort of the Queensland State of Origin team tonight that we could pull something out of the fire, and I reckon it's definitely doable, but no one's really giving us a chance, are they?
Not at all.
No, they're not, including on this couch. LT, mate, thanks for coming on. We had the boys had to settle for me as a guest last week, so we've had a big jump in class this week with you on the show. Mate, I love my league. I love that Origin analogy. And we heard Joey Suwali through the week, actually. He made comment that he thought a Lions test's bigger than a State of Origin game. Mate, you didn't play a game against the Lions, but you pretty much did everything else there is to do in the game of rugby union and rugby league. Can we get your perspective on that?
Yeah, well, mate, Joey only played one game of Origin, didn't he? He knocked out Reece Walsh. So,
yeah,
he had a limited experience in those games, but I love both games. I don't know what it feels like to be a part of a Lions series, but for me, Origin was the pinnacle. In a representative jersey. The Wallabies were up there as well, but playing for Queensland and running out onto Lane Park was massive for me. And these guys are going to be doing it tonight. A packed Suncorp with a crowd right behind them. And hopefully they can, as I said before, boys, cut out all the outside noise about this week and how good the Lions are. Really draw some strength from, looking inwards and looking at each other and what we can do and going from there. I think having that faith in each other and having faith from your coach for you to go out there and do your job will be paramount for them, and hopefully they can get better, but they've got to start well tonight. They've got to have a lot of things go their way. They've got to come out from the get-go, all guns blazing, and sort of go from there and then hopefully build on that.
Lote, just a question, I guess, around Suncorp itself. Like, obviously you see it in the Origin, we've seen it with the Wallabies, and I briefly mentioned it before. What is it about Suncorp that sort of makes the home team, grow an extra leg and put the performances they do? Like, obviously got a lot of experience there. Is there anything in particular?
Yeah, I guess it's the weather. We like it up here. It's nice and warm during the week. We play in, obviously, the winter, but winter's up here the best in Australia. I think it's the best time of the year. It's sunny. It's a nice dry track. It'll be a nice dry track for the boys, hopefully, to throw the ball around and show what we can do and let our fast backs get some space. I think we like playing. We're a lot more boisterous up here. I think in Sydney and other parts of Australia, I think we're a bit too, prim and proper about how we talk to the other team, how we talk to the ref. I think we tend to get into them up here, and I like it. It's a great place to play, and we've had a lot of luck up here. So hopefully that luck continues tonight.
Yeah, Lote, just quickly, mate, before kickoff happens, you just mentioned the weather in Brisbane, and that's kind of why Australia and the Queensland teams don't do so well. Obviously, playing the best of the Northern Hemisphere, them coming down to us, obviously it's a bit cooler than we're probably used to, but probably still a bit hot for them. Do you think that's had an impact on their series so far? And if so, how are they sort of dealing with that? Like they've picked a pretty physical sort of front eight. Do you think that's going to change much in terms of what they're going to do, or they're still going to come out and just try and rip into it?
Mate, I've got no idea about the front eight. Let's be honest. If the ball gets out to the backs for us, I'll be really happy, and that's where we've got to try and get that ball. That front eight, they're amazing. They play that game the way they do. They invented the game to play it nice and tight, sort of kick to the sort of corners, play it tight there. But we've done a fair bit over the last couple of weeks. So hopefully at training, our combinations, I worry about our combinations because, that 19 combination will be huge going forward. We'll be better in game 2 and 3. I don't know how much time those two players have played together, if any, and you can't just create that magic in, 2 weeks of lives during the week. So, I'm worried about that. If we can, nullify some of those errors in and around those game specifics and real game time play, we might have a chance.
Now, Lote, I want you to take us back here. 2003 Home World Cup. It was obviously a very special moment. That try, you scored the World Cup final. You flew over Jason Robertson, the Larkham crossfield kick. Talk me about that moment, and then how special it's going to be for us to have a Home World Cup back here in 27. How much the country gets around it.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. And I think you've seen how the country's got around this Lions tour, and I think it's going to be even bigger in 2027. I think you're just going to see rugby's back on the back page rather than 3 pages in, front and back. The interest is going to amplify from here on in. Hopefully on the back of successful Lions series with the Wallabies. They can get on the back of that and really, ram something home come 2027 because 2003 was great. As a player, we didn't really get to spend as much time as we would have liked to in the different centres. We went back to Coffs Harbour after games and we'll hold up there. But, hopefully, come 2027, I know I'll be getting out and about and, enjoying some of what the World Cup has to offer. But, first things first, boys, we've got to get over these Lions first. 2003 World Cup final, that was amazing. To score the opening try, huge, and to get us on the front foot. I saw a few of those ex-England players this week and, reminisced about some of that game. Not too much, because they obviously got the last laugh, but a fun fact, I scored my first try for the Wallabies as a loose forward in Suncorp Stadium against Romania. I had no idea. They put me on in the last 10-15. George Smith, I get on, mate, you got to go at half. You got to go on the side of the scrum. Say to George Smith, George, mate, what the fuck do I do? I said, just put your head in and follow me.
Worked that all right for you.
Score a try.
Lote, I love hearing you talk about your experiences, mate. I'm a diehard League fan and a Bronx fan. You're one of my favourites, I tell you all the time, mate. You played with some of the...
Especially your renditions of Taylor Swift. I love them, mate.
Hey, mate, you have to come back. You're good. Mate, I love hearing you talk about the game. Play with some of the great characters, like in your league days, Alfie, Kevy, Lockie, Wendell, and then you make the switch in 03. Who are some of the big characters in that Wallaby side when you made that transition across? And can you give us an insight and some good stories about some of them?
There was 2 big characters. I think, the game was, at the forefront again. I got off the back of some of those, the 1999 World Cup obviously to play, but the game was in a big place. And I think guys like Ty Kefu, George Gregan, we've heard about him and what he can do with a schooner glass. Always a pretty good. Mac, we toured really well together, and he's still playing. He's still touring the world, talking absolute rubbish. But those those are the memories you miss. I loved touring. I loved playing for. Yeah, I love playing footy and getting the game and playing in those big stadiums. But what you miss, as these blokes will tell you, as Little Pickle will tell you, is the camaraderie and the mateship and those bonds you form and the great stories you have off the field. I think, I think Alfie Langer, he would always spew up before a game, those sort of things sort of take you back. Wendell Saylor, he was the same, mate. He every game he I think it was about 5 or 6 white bread rolls, chips, pre-game meal, and 2 cans of Coke, or 2 600ml bottles of Coke. Madness. I don't know if he'd be allowed to have that now. He's probably copping it now, but for what he did back then. But yeah, all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that went on back then that sort of wouldn't go down now. But are we about to run out? Are they playing the anthems or what?
Yeah, about to let you go, Lottie. Before we do that, give me your prediction for the game.
I'm going to stay loyal, mate. I'm going to go Australia 1-12, so I'm going to go by 5 points.
Right.
And I'm going to go Joseph. Oh, maybe not. Matty Fassar. I'm going to get him anytime try scorer.
There we go. Locked in. The big man's spoken. Thank you so much for your time, Lote Tuqiri. Enjoy the game. We'll catch up soon. Appreciate it, mate.
Boys, thanks for having me.
Cheers, Lottie.
There we go. Great to hear from the big fellas. We get things moving. The Lions series underway against the Wallabies. So great insights there from the big fella boys.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to hear a different perspective